Hi guys, my name is Maureen. I work at Amor. We have two branches. One is in Kilimani and the other one is Nyayo Estate Embakasi Gate D. When you come at Amor, it's not about selling for us. We offer the best customer service with a memorable experience. We do men clothing, that is shirts, jeans, khakis, shoes, sneakers. For ladies, we do office dresses, we do dinner dresses, we do heels. We also have flat shoes. For kids, we do dresses for girls. We do shirts for boys, trousers, any kids outfit you can want. You can get us on Facebook at Amor, on Instagram at Amor_KE.
The world of disabilities is really quite wide, like I have mentioned in my previous episodes. Wide in the sense that a lot of them, a lot of disabilities are visible where I can tell just at looking at you that you suffer from this or that. And also that another good portion of such is invisible, whereby you can never tell what I live with until either I share with you, or number two, until probably I am in that moment, until I am in that attack, for lack of a better word. Then now you can be able to see me go through that. And one of the disabilities that is invisible, really, that I want to talk about today, that until either I tell you I suffer from it, or secondly, you see me experience it, you will never tell, is epilepsy. Hello everybody, and welcome to Naomi's All Inclusive World, where today I'll be looking at epilepsy and just how serious of a disability or a condition it is, and what we need to know as society, whether we suffer from it or we have someone who does. Now, epilepsy is a disorder in which nerve cell activities in the brain are disturbed, are destabilized, causing seizures, whereby now it's that disturbance that now will result into the seizures that we will get to see, that person falling down, that person, shaking and so on. So that's just the simplest of a definition of epilepsy. Now, I need to mention very loudly that, again, epilepsy is not contagious. So should someone next to you experience this seizure, and you see them fall down and have the shakings and so on, and you need to help them or you get to help them, please be informed that epilepsy is not contagious. So it will not rub on you. You will still be safe. Now, usually some people actually get eventually have the seizures go away with time, but others don't. So again, it's person to person. Most of the people who live with epilepsy apparently just live to full life. They will do what they are able to do, just like any other person, because until that seizure happens, this person is very okay, is a normal human being running their errands and so on. So yes, most people with this disability just get to live their full life. An informed society will help, and that's why I am here. Since now I have read a thing or two about epilepsy, and now actually I am more informed than I was, say, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, growing up with, some kids in the primary school in the village who are experiencing this. I would really love to share this with you, because information is power, guys. And it will be very good if we can operate as an informed society. So a few of the things that I would like to share about just epilepsy and, what exactly we need to know as society. And society here, remember, could be neighbors to someone who has a child who has epilepsy, or neighbors to a person who has epilepsy, or, parents to a kid who has epilepsy, parents, who have a sibling, or, a mother, parent who has epilepsy and so on, is a number of reasons result in people having this. Some are actually related to our genes. So it's so much about what makes us. And sometimes these genes are passed down or inherited from one parent down to the kids and so on. And sometimes epilepsy is linked to changes in our genes, as mutation happens, then again, like that happens. So that has no known link to other family members. So that's why you realize, for example, like you might just find that one child among 7 or 10 family members has epilepsy. And when you look at the history and the lineage of this person, there's no one else in the family, down probably a number of generations that has epilepsy. So that could just be about the genes and the mutations, in case that is the case. So in the event of someone in your surrounding experiencing epilepsy, having the epileptic seizures or the epileptic attack, what you can do now as a person who will be there, who now after this episode you will be informed to know what to do, is the first thing is place them on their side to help their airway be clear. So in case you see someone, fall down having the seizures and so on, help them lie on their side so that their airways can be clear for them to breathe. Do the timing and see. So look at your watch and start and see how long that will take. Because then say, for example, in case it prolongs and the person is not coming back to themselves, and for example, let's say medical attention will be needed, you'll be able to tell, to help the medics will arrive on how long it took for them really to know probably how much the damage is or what they want to check out for. So again, you might want to roughly like estimate how long it will take in case you are able to do that. Don't put anything in their mouth. This a lot of us can relate, and myself especially, growing up in the village and also having just gone to the school where we had, I think, 1 or 2 kids who used to have these epileptic seizures once in a while. You realize that thinking about it now, none of us was informed on what to do in the event that this happened, and none of us being all the students in that school plus the teachers and the workers. Because now that I think about it right now, no one did the right thing. People used to be quick to run and put something in this person's mouth, like to avoid them, I don't know, biting their tongue or something like that, or to avoid them, I don't know, biting themselves or something like that. Apparently that is wrong. Like, avoid putting anything in their mouth during the seizure. Give them room and keep other people back, keep other people as far as possible, because again, when we crowd, we actually also just minimize the oxygen that this person, needs around that. So keep off other people and just give them room. Clear sharp objects around, like glasses, furniture, and just sharp things that might harm them or prick them. Because during the seizures, some seizures are really violent, others are about a bit mild. So depending also, you realize that movement and so on, in case there's anything around that is sharp or could actually harm them and so on. So yeah, clear the area of sharp or hard sharp objects like glasses, furniture, and so on. Cushion their head if you're able to with something hopefully a bit smooth and not like a stone. Just cushion their head so that their head is, ikona support flani hapo. Loosen clothing around their neck if you can, safely, just in case they were putting on some tight clothes, if they were wearing, say, if it's a man, he was wearing a tie, a turtleneck and so on. If you are able to, please just loosen the clothes around their neck, just to help the airways, the air just flow better and so on. And lastly, do not try to hold them down during the seizures. And like I said, again, these seizures vary. We have those ones that are violent, others are a bit mild. Whichever type it is, don't try to contain them and hold them down or stop their movements. Just leave them to eat. As long as the area, the ground they're on is safe and so on, leave them to eat. It will just come to pass. Now, in the event that it doesn't, in the event that you have done all this and still the seizures are still there, the shakings and so on are still there, then do a few of these things so that then we see what to do next. And in this case now, if the seizures is still there, there's nothing that is changing and so on, you might want to call for medical help. So you will want to call for medical help, for example, if you're a parent or a nanny or a babysitter, if it's the child's first seizure. If you've never experienced this, or you've never witnessed your child or gotten even a report, say from school, about your child having had a seizure anytime, so that then maybe it's the first time, you might want to call for a doctor if it's the first time your child is experiencing a seizure. Secondly, also, if the seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, and that's why I mentioned earlier on about you trying to time, so that now in the event that it will continue and a medic has to show up, they might need some information from a witness. So in case it has lasted more than 5 minutes, you might want to call for medical help. Also, if another seizure happens or begins soon after the first one, say for example this person has had the seizure, you've helped clearing the place and so on, and the seizure has gone, and then almost immediately they get another attack, please call for medical attention. It could be a tell for something else. Also, if the person doesn't wake up after the movements have stopped, you might want to call for medical help. Because usually like the movements and the seizures and so on can actually, cease, and the person now calms down, but for some reason they're not waking up, call for help. There could be something more than just that. And lastly, if the person was injured during the seizure, say for example you got there late, or whoever was there did think they needed to clear the area, or they were not in position for whatever reason to clear the area, and so in the event of the seizure, this person experiencing this epileptic attack, like injured themselves, maybe they're bleeding and so on, call for medical help whether or not they have woken up. You will need to call for medical help, because then now there's more than one thing that needs attention there. Okay. Now, thank you for your time. I really thought I needed to mention this because, truth be told, we are living with people who actually live with epilepsy as a disability, as a condition. And it's very helpful for us to just know how to behave and how to conduct ourselves in the event that they have the seizure or the attack while we are there. Because can you imagine actually someone, for example, getting more injured or even dying, not from the disability they have been living with, not from the epilepsy itself, but from things like, for example, the injuries that they get from the place, because no one could clear the place. And again, remember, attacks such as epilepsy don't warn. They don't have a schedule. They just happen, and I've mentioned this even, I think, when I was tackling asthma. Some of these attacks don't warn. They don't give you a notice like I'll show up tomorrow at 2. So they just appear when they appear, and they can find you at home, they can find you on the road, they can find you in school, they can find you on the bus, and so on. So again, it can be anywhere, and that's why it helps if we can be an informed society, so that should we be in a space where one of us is experiencing this, we will be of help and not just be there ready to report ilikuwa video na drama when it happened and so on. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I'll see you in my next episode. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and click that subscribe button if you're my first timer. And for my returning subscribers, asante sana. Let's keep doing this.